Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media with our friends from Poway OnStage. We've got Sharlene O'Keefe, the spanking brand new Executive Director of Poway OnStage, but not new to the organization, correct?
Correct. I've been with the organization for 9 years.
Nice over here. So following in some pretty big footsteps, and I know you'll do them just fine. That is my longtime friend and colleague. I've worked with this guy when he was at the Old Globe about 100 million years ago. It wasn't quite that long ago, and that is Michael Rennie, the former Executive Director of Poway OnStage. That'll be, working still with Sharlene as he has for the last 9 years, and as helping out as they make an easy transition. How you doing there, Michael?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having us back.
Of course. We'll start with you on this, Sharlene. For people who don't know what Poway OnStage is all about, it's alter ego and the same name, Poway Center for the Performing Arts, correct?
Yes, we are actually the nonprofit organization that runs the professional performance series at the Poway Center for the Performing Arts, and we also have a year-long arts and education initiative.
Right, exactly. And you've got a strong affiliation with the city of Poway, of course, and with Poway Unified. The facility is on the campus of Poway High School, correct?
It is. The land is owned by the school district. The building is owned and operated by the city of Poway, and then we occupy the building on our nights, and then we share the space with 40-some-odd community user groups, as well as the school district. Yeah,
and as I like bragging about to anybody, Michael's heard me say this to ad nauseum, for those folks that I like to bring up there as rookies to some of the wonderful performances, they're blown away for 87 different reasons. Well, it's not that far off the beaten track. I told you, it's only 10 minutes from, I-15, if that even. But there's plenty of free parking. Yep, there's plenty of free parking. The sound in this thing is unbelievable. Yes. How come I haven't gone here before? Well, I hope that changes. Am I right or wrong, Michael, on all those?
Oh, undoubtedly. You and I have talked about this before, but the Poway Center for the Performing Arts is located on a bucolic back road in Poway, and really, unless you live in that area, you might not even know it exists. But it's just 7-10 minutes off the 15. You're greeted by this beautiful grand staircase when you walk into the lobby, 70-foot plate glass windows. It really is a jewel in Poway, and your experience has very much been mine, that people who are there for the first time kind of gasp and gape and say, why have I never heard about this? And hopefully now everyone listening has heard about it and will join us.
No, I think so, without question. Sharlene, have you always been in this space in performing arts?
Personally, yes, I have. I have a background in arts education.
Okay.
So prior to working for Poway OnStage, I owned a multidisciplinary art studio in Poway. So I have background in dance, drama, music, and art. My degrees are in dance, so I often say I'm a reformed dancer.
No, that certainly helps in what you're doing in this field as well, and of course with 9 years experience in this. And it's so true. What I say is that when people discover what you folks put on, first-class organization, you got great staff that do this, obviously, and volunteers. And so forth. It's really not. It's a can't miss, to be honest with you. What do you see? And we could probably talk about this for 5 hours. That is going to be something real critical moving forward Poway OnStage. Obviously, Michael's done just a spectacular job, obviously with you there for 9 years as well. But, listen, the pandemic, I'm sure, didn't help in many ways anybody in that, especially live performances. Do you feel you guys are pretty much out of that and a different trajectory?
We have seen audiences returning to our programs. Last year, we had a full series of professional performances. Our Arts and Education Initiative last year had to stay virtual due to constraints in the classroom with the children. But this upcoming year, we're looking forward to a full roster of professional performances and a return of our in-person arts and education offerings, as well as continuing the virtual offerings as well. So we're really interested in sort of bringing what we learned through the pandemic into, this new reality and how we can connect our audiences and our new service communities.
Are you going to bring back the taste? Is that going to come back?
We will be doing some sort of annual fundraising event.
Yeah, it was a fun event.
It was a fantastic event.
Right. That usually in June, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes.
And then I know you guys have done some stuff with the Bernardo Winery. I know you started that, if I'm not mistaken, sort of, sharing some stuff. Maybe, I believe you did that once or twice.
We did. We did a summer concert series at the Bernardo Winery in 2018 and 2019.
Yeah.
Then the world took a pause for the better part of 2 years, and the focus last year really was on reinvigorating the series at the Poway Center for the Performing Arts, which, for 30 years has been kind of our flagship program.
Sure.
But as every cloud has a silver lining, Sharlene mentioned that during the pandemic, our programming, our arts and education programming in particular, had to go virtual. And it ended up being a really amazing kind of incubation period for arts and education. Sharlene developed a amazing series of online programs that we continue post-pandemic. Just to put things in perspective, historically, our arts and education program reached about 4,000 or 5,000 students each year through assemblies, workshops, and whatnot. And when we went virtual in 2020, 2021, our audience became a global audience of more than 500,000. So a lot of great things developed during the pandemic that are going to be a focus for the organization moving forward.
Yeah, without question. And so let's get right to it. You've got the 2022-23 professional performance series all docked in, all locked in, and so to speak. And start us off, Sharlene. What's first on the plate? So
first on the plate is our Sugar Skull performance, which is a Dia de los Muertos musical adventure. And this is a great multi-generational audience performance. It follows a 12-year-old girl as she sort of asks the question, why do we throw a party for dead people? And so through beautiful music and beautiful dancing, amazing stage imagery, it sort of tells the story and the history of Dia de los Muertos.
And then following that is this iconic figure in the world of music, Taj Mahal.
So, Taj Mahal, 80 years young, has been at it for most of his adult life. 3-time Grammy Award winner, 14-time Grammy Award nominee, a Blues Hall of Fame inductee. If you're a blues fan, I really don't have to tell you much about Taj Mahal. He is blues in a man. And as with so many of our legendary artist. We don't know how many more years he's going to be touring. We're very fortunate that he lives here on the West Coast, so jaunt down to San Diego is easy for him. If you are unfamiliar with Taj Mahal, I think his claim to fame within the blues world is that he's very much a traditional blues artist while also being a bit avant-garde, kind of expanding the blues repertoire. So you're going to get some very traditional Southern Delta blues, but also some things that veer into areas of almost jazz and world music. He is accompanied by a 4-piece band, if I remember correctly, and as you've stated before, Drew, the Poway Center is a very intimate space. No seat is any more than 100 seats from the stage. So for your viewers who may have seen Taj at 2,000 and 3,000 seat venues, this is a really excellent opportunity to see the master up close. Well,
listen, due to both your expertise in this world, dance and music and so forth, and really credit to both of you for 19 years, Michael and Sharlene, you for 9. You guys know your music. That's not trying to patronize you. So if you are a blues player and you haven't heard of some of these people or a blues fan, if you haven't heard of Taj Mahal, you're not a blues fan. So if I could just say that. But you brought on Walter Trout, arguably just a superstar, last year. And who did he play with again? I'm drawing a blank right now.
Canned Heat. He was in the Canned Heat lineup.
Right,
you're talking about Walter Trout now, not
right? But he played with who last year? He had a dual.
Oh, at our venue. So we had a double headlining bill with Walter Trout and John Mahal.
I couldn't think of John. I always forget John's name. How could I forget John Mahal? For God's sake!
Right. Yeah.
So this is, if you like this stuff, you are not going to be. I'll be disappointed on that. That one is on October 28th. It's a Friday. Or Sharlene, most of your performances are at 8:00, correct?
Most of them are. This year, we have expanded. We've listened to our audiences who like to come a little bit earlier. So we do have some matinee performances as well.
Nice.
Some Sunday shows, 2 p.m., 4 p.m., but our evening shows are, typically at 8 p.m.
Yeah, we come back from break. We're going to talk more about the 2022-23 professional performance series. But I highly encourage people to go on the website now, get your tickets before these are sold out. And these will sell out, as some of my friends have learned when I tell them to get on the site. And, hey, you didn't tell me it was going to sell out. Yes, I did. So that's really important as well. So we'll go through the rest of the lineup in that aspect. And Sharlene and Michael knows this as he's been on the show many times. We always save some time after we go through the lineup of what our listeners can do to support your efforts. Obviously, come to the performances, job one. If you got some opportunities to help sponsor a show, listen, we always love to shout out sponsors for individual shows. No one will turn down money for the whole season, of course, in that aspect as well. When we return with Sharlene O'Keefe, the Executive Director of Poway OnStage, joined by the former Executive Director, Michael Rennie. They'll be working very, very closely together on this 2022-2023 performance series. We'll hear more about that when we return.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and you're listening to Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing great things to San Diego for more than 60 years. We have our very cool friends from Poway OnStage with us, Executive Director Sharlene O'Keefe, joined by former Executive Director, longtime colleague Michael Rennie. As Sharlene, as we were going through the 2022-23 lineup, we had ended with Taj Mahal, which will be here on the 28th of October. And then we got this guy, played for this group called the Eagles, Don Felder. Talk about that.
Yes, Don Felder, world-renowned musician, former lead guitarist of the Eagles. We're very excited about this performance. You spoke about shows that will sell out, and this is one that is on its way quickly. Right.
I got to get my tickets now, right, Michael and Sharlene? So I got to put my request in, for that. And, that's on November the 5th. That's a Saturday at 8 p.m. And, Michael, I'll let you do the honors on the next group about a month afterwards.
Sure. So Big Bad Voodoo Daddy are bringing their wild and swingin' holiday party to the Poway Center in December. This is an encore presentation. Big Bad Voodoo Daddy were presented in 2018 and quickly became an audience favorite. A lot of folks asked us to bring them back. And so we are. And for those unfamiliar, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy were a huge part of the 90s swing revival. I don't know if you all remember, but in the 90s, the nation kind of fell in love with zoot suits and gaudy hats. A lot of clubs were hosting swing dance lessons and parties. And Big Bad Voodoo Daddy were at the forefront of that movement. Absolutely ebullient band, just a rollicking, fun, good time. As holiday shows go, it's super upbeat. There's something in it for everybody. There are some holiday theme songs, but it's just a rollicking good time.
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to see them, and I saw Don Felder also. These are can't misses. I mean, this lineup. Listen, it's hard to say this. You went from you go from A+ lineups to A++. There's no degradation on that, and that's really a credit to both of you. Who's up on February 11th, Sharlene?
February 11th, we have Richie Furay and the Back to the Garden Band. So you'll recognize Richie from his roles in Poco and Buffalo Springfield, and he will be backed by a crowd favorite at the Poway Center, which is the Back to the Garden Band.
They're the best. And anybody who has seen the phenomenal performances, thank you very much, Michael and Sharlene, with Last Waltz, and Woodstock, and the sounds. You have Laurel Canyon, and you keep on going.
Hello, Goodbye. The 1969 A to Z was the most recent one that Back to the Garden Band did. Yeah,
awesome. Unbelievable,
amazing.
And the musicians who are in that Back to the Garden are second to none. So another actually a home run on that one. And by the way, one of my very first concerts was at the Hollywood Bowl before both of you guys were born, and I saw Buffalo Springfield, and that was great. That was 1968, by the way.
Wow.
Right. Okay. So, Michael, talk a little bit about who's coming on the 24th.
So February 24th, we bring a show to Poway that we have long wanted to bring to Poway. It's called One Night of Queen, and it is a celebration of arguably one of the greatest live rock bands of the rock and roll era. We approach Tribute Acts with great caution. There are a ton of them out there. Some are better than others. And so this was a show that we have been hearing from our presenters in other parts of the world that we just absolutely couldn't pass on. It's supposedly a absolutely fantastic recreation of a Queen concert featuring a guy who actually won an award for portraying Freddie Mercury. It travels with this massive lighting truss to give you the effects of a stadium caliber concert, but again in the intimate 800-seat Poway Center for the Arts.
So, can I give an endorsement to this?
By all means,
because I just saw them. At Humphreys.
Yeah.
And as Michael knows, I've been honored and lucky to have a boat that's docked right on D-Dock, right in front of the stage, and he killed it. It was so you've hit a home run on this one.
An unsolicited testimony.
Yeah, listen, exactly. And I saw the lineup. I was going to have to give my 2 cents on this, and I'll give you change back on it. Again, we're chatting with Sharlene O'Keefe, the Executive Director of Poway OnStage, and Michael Rennie, a former Executive Director, talking about their 2022-23 performance, professional performance series. Talk about what's coming up on the 26th. Charlene.
Yes. So on Sunday, February 26th, this is one of our family matinee performances. Very, very excited about Cenicienta, which is a bilingual Cinderella story. And this is actually a one-woman show, and it takes place in the basement of her home. And she is preparing for a party that her stepfamily is throwing upstairs, and she brings to life some of the objects in the basement as her friends, and you sort of see a Cinderella story played out as she herself is a writer, and the guest of honor upstairs will be a famous writer, Gary Soto, and so she shares her poems, and you sort of see a Cinderella story unfold before your eyes. So we're very excited about this.
Right. Again, what you were chatting a little bit about at break, Michael, in Arts and Education Initiative, Rumpelstiltskin is coming on the 6th of March with the Poway Youth Theater, correct?
Yes. For 22 years, Poway OnStage has partnered with the world-famous Missoula Children's Theater to present our annual youth theater camp, and those familiar with the program are huge fans and return year after year. Basically, we invite children from the community, K through 12, to come to the Poway Center on a Monday afternoon. This year it'll be Monday, March 6th?
It is, March 6th, 4 p.m.
4 p.m. So open auditions. There may be a registration
those
process.
are auditions, and then the 11th is when the show goes on.
Right. So the auditions are held on a Monday. We usually have about 150 children participate in the auditions. It's a group audition. They all go up on stage at once. They go through about 2 hours of activities. And from that group, we choose about 65 children to participate. Those kids go into rehearsals that night. They rehearse Monday through Friday, and then they put on a full musical production that Saturday. So it is a soup to nuts theatrical experience for K through 12th graders, provided free of charge. It's all supported by the supporters of Poway OnStage. And as I said, we've been doing this for about 22 years now, I think. Mm-hmm. So, we have seen kids go from, near toddlers to adults in this program. It's something we're immensely proud of.
Right. So I'm going to breeze through the other three performances, but since we're going to have Sharlene on multiple times, you'll have more time to talk about these than upcoming editions of the Spotlight in the Community in more detail. We got Sewan, how I pronounce that correct? How you pronounce that? Sewam?
Sewam,
American Indian Dance on March 26th as a matinee, and the 27th. School shows that follow. We got ABBA Mania. I'll be at that one. If you like anything about ABBA, you want to see that one. That's on April the 8th. And then if you love this cool sound, the Drifters will be coming up on April 22nd. That is an unbelievable lineup. Again, we're chatting with our good friends from Poway OnStage. So, Sharlene, talk about how important that Arts and Education Initiative is.
Yes. Our Arts and Education Initiative really is at the heart of our mission, and we serve close to 100,000 students in San Diego County with virtual and in-person arts and education experiences. And we really find that some of these students might grow up to actually be musicians or performers of some sort, but most of the time we're inspiring students by giving them confidence and teaching them how to tap into their creativity. So that's really the power of what we're doing with our Arts and Education Initiative.
Yeah, and as Michael has heard me say to ad nauseum, is if it was Drew ran the world, started off as a journalist and then spent time at San Diego Unified developing curriculum, and then back to the dark side in journalism, more on the business side. But I'll say this forever. If it was up to me running all of education, we just offer classes in VAPA in the visual performing arts, because every single content area, from physics to calculus to social studies to history to English to chemistry to athletics to everything in between, can be taught through the arts. And you guys know that better than anybody, because you deal with all those types of things, right. Geometry and physics and business and all that. One of these days we'll get it. And one of these days, Drew will be the author of a thing. What were we thinking when we actually got rid of the arts programs? Are we out of our minds? And but there's nothing more important than what you folks are doing, and we all know that. And anybody would say, I learned more from my arts education about whether I wound up being a scientist or a STEM person or a STEAM person than that. So, my plaudits to you on that. And I just can't talk about it enough. I'll start with you on this, Michael, and then shift over to Sharlene. You've had to do this for 19 years. Money doesn't grow on trees. So you rely on the benevolence of your very active board, very supportive board, and you're very magnanimous because you always shout them out at the beginning of every show, and the sponsors. Talk about how important that is for what you folks do.
Sure. I appreciate that opportunity. We are a not-for-profit, a 501c3. So yes, we accept donations, and and donors receive tax benefits to the full extent of the law. But more than that, people who donate to arts organization, be it our organization or another, really are architects of a better community. Arts organizations simply can't thrive on ticket sales alone, and that is not a new thing. I've been in some version of arts presentation for the better part of 30 years, and ticket sales have never covered the cost to present performances on stage or arts programs in schools. It really is the benevolence of our individual donors, numerous granting organizations, and our sponsors that make what we do possible. This is, for those who adhere to the philosophy of 1,000 points of light, this is your opportunity to be a point of light. If you want to make sure that your community has quality arts programs for youth and for adults, we invite you to visit our website, powayonstage.org. Click on the Get Involved button. And there are some, perks and benefits to your memberships and your sponsorships. And Sharlene and I would be happy to talk to anybody about those. But I appreciate you shining a light on that need. I know that many of your guests represent not-for-profits, and so you have a lot of options. But we hope you'll consider Poway OnStage in your annual giving plans.
It is, and I've been honored to help support it in my little way, actually, and we'll continue to do so.
Thank you.
As well. And Sharlene, welcome aboard. I shouldn't say that. You've been there for 9 years, but at least in the catbird seat, so to speak. And what a great person to follow with Michael. And I'm a little prejudiced. I'm a big Michael Rennie fan, like a zillion people are, for that matter.
I think everyone is.
Yeah, I don't know if somebody who's not, to that matter. And
I can name a few.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. I can't name anyone, but Sharlene. So, and any final comments?
No, I thank you for this opportunity to be on the show, and thank you for your commitment to the arts and to arts education. It's nice to sit with people who have the same feelings as we do.
Well, you got to shout out loud, and it's got to come, from people that necessarily aren't in the field. People are going to say, well, of course they're going to say that. That's their field and bread and butter, and that's true. But it needs other voices to just loud and shout and be incessant 365, 24/7, and you're going to find that at Spotlight on the Community with you folks. We're going to have you, Sharlene, and you're more than welcome to join Sharlene as much as she wants to have you, Michael. As you know, I want to tee you up probably in September, maybe close to when it kicks off, do a recap of what we're doing here.
That's great.
And maybe even bring in someone who's benefited from arts and education. Maybe have a teacher or someone come in as well. And I want you to shout out that website, if you could.
powayonstage.org.
That sounds terrific. So Sharlene O'Keefe and Michael Rennie, Executive Director and former Executive Director, wishing you nothing but great success. We'll look forward to having you back on. I hope you enjoy a phenomenal, great weekend.
Thanks so much.
Very good. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You've been listening to another edition of Spotlight on the Community on Cloudcast Media.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.